All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Grade 9 Coding. It is the 1st of July today, the whole day, even if it rains, it'll stay the 1st of July. I'm coming to you from the sunny garden route overlooking the ocean here where I'm sitting and teaching coding to you. I am Mr. Paul de Klerk, or Mr. de Klerk, Mr. Paul, whatever, doesn't really matter. Just as long as you know that that's my face in the bottom corner and I am viciously passionate about computer sciences and technology. I've been involved in coding for probably 6 years on and off. I'm a freelance web developer. That means I create content on the internet, websites, and virtual business cards, and blogs, and capture pages, and you name it. So I think I took my first computer apart when I was 10 or 11. And I just told the grade 7s earlier, when I was their age, one of my friend's dads worked in an IT department at a company, and he used to bring all the old broken computers to their house. And we would strip them down and put parts together and upgrade these computers to play games on. And at the end of the day, we could probably only play solitaire or something like Snake on those machines, but we had fun. That's the important part. So today we are doing lesson 3 and 4. So we're finishing off with lesson 3. If you are new and you haven't done any of the other lessons with us, don't stress about that. This is still extremely easy at this stage, so that's not a problem to worry about that, but we'll finish that, then move on to lesson 4. I have to just say, because we might have some people that are new, I actually don't recognize any of these names here. So the chat box is there for us to ask questions and for me to share links to you so that you can follow along on your computer screen and code with me. Now, I only share the link once we're on the coding screen. Obviously, as long as I'm on this PowerPoint, there are no links for me to copy. So you'll have to wait for that. I won't chat too long on the slides. I like to get into the coding relatively quickly. It's my first time about coding. It seems interesting. Yes, it is very interesting. Don't go anywhere. Okay, just stay here. I'm going to make it fun, I promise, right? So the chat box is there for these types of things. You know, you ask questions, I answer them. I ask questions, you answer them. I share links to you. But that's about it, right? Don't come chatting with your buds here. Don't come talking about other lessons here. Don't share links in the chat box. If I see one link in the chat box that I didn't share, I'll kick you out immediately, right? That's not just because I don't like them. It's because we need to keep the integrity of our lessons safe, right? So that is basically it. Your video cameras, try to keep them off. If you accidentally switch them on, that's fine. We're all human. We make mistakes. That's not a problem. But if you accidentally switch it on 5 times, it doesn't look like an accident anymore. Or you switch it on and I see something that I'm not supposed to see, obviously I won't take that as an accident and I will remove you. So that's enough of me chatting about that stuff. Let's get into this, right? So here is a quote from Mr. Stephen Hawking, and it says, whether you want to uncover the secrets of the universe or you just want to pursue a career in the 21st century, basic computer programming is an essential skill to learn. Stephen Hawking. So I shared about this a bit earlier. We are learning coding here, but coding actually comes with a whole array of things. It's robotics, it's design, and it's engineering, all encompassed into one thing. If you have a look at some characters that we know about, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bill Gates as an example, these were people that started coding and playing on computers and things the way that I did when I was younger. I just told you about that, right? So Elon Musk created PayPal on a computer that looks like my grandmother's old television in her home, right? That's what he used to create PayPal, which is today one of the biggest payment processors in the world. He's moved on from computer coding into robotics and engineering, and he's created solar things. Just the other day, he launched a shuttle to outer space. I mean, and he started coding on a computer that looks like my grandma's TV, right? Just think about that. This is why I'm so passionately excited about coding, and this is why I'm so excited about computer sciences and having this platform where we can teach these skills to you. Okay, so let us move on. I hope at this stage you understand that I'm passionate about this. Okay, So the problem solving workflow, whenever we approach coding or any problems, we need to follow a workflow to make sense of it. That's the best and, in my opinion, should be the only way that we try to solve problems. So the first thing we need to do is we need to identify the problem, okay? There you can see. Now, especially on this platform that we're using. This platform, code.org, was designed in Europe. It's based on JavaScript, which is a coding language, and we'll talk more about that later. But sometimes in these puzzles that we are trying to solve, we get so enticed with them that we want to move the character from one part to the next. We want to solve the maze, and we don't take notice of the fact that there are some things that they have to do on different areas of that maze. So when I say identify the problem, it means that we want to identify each problem within the big goal that we want to solve. Okay. Then what we want to do is we want to create the solution. Now, if we've taken our big goal, we've broken it down into smaller problems, we solve each small problem, we test that solution, right? Always test the solution, and then we make adjustments to the solution if need be. Now, if we follow these 3 steps for all of the small problems, we take all those solutions, put them together, then voila, we've solved the big goal, okay? So today we are going to have a look at this. So at the top left, we have Scrat, and we are busy with debugging. There you can see him here. His name is Scrat, and he calls himself the real problem solver, right? Not the real MVP. He's the real problem solver. And the reason why he's called a problem solver, we are doing debugging. And that word debug means to take mistakes out of computer code, to find them, identify them, and fix them, right? So that's what we're going to do. And then after that, we're going to go into this. Laurel is the name, and she's collecting treasures, right? And let me just check where we are at. Good. I'm going to share my coding screen with you. If you will allow me to navigate there for a second. Okay, so this is what we've done up until now, right? This is from lesson 1, finished lesson 2, and we're doing debugging with Scrat now, lesson 3. So what I want to tell you is this link that I'm going to share with you now, I'm just going to jump into this lesson. We're going to start with lesson 7. I know some of you that were here might have done it already, but that's fine. Revision is great. So I'm going to share this link with you in the chat box now. Now what you do is you click on that link. It's going to open in a browser. This is Google Chrome, my preferred browser. It doesn't have to be yours, although it should be, but it doesn't have to be. So I use Google Chrome. If you're using Internet Explorer, or as they call it these days, Edge, or you're using Apple, yes, you're going to help me debug. We're going to do this together. So if you're using Apple, you'll have the Safari browser. What the name of the browser is doesn't matter. What is important is that you click on this link, get it open to this page, and you will be able to code the same way that I'm coding here. So whatever I do on my screen, you will be able to do on your screen. So the idea is up on the right-hand corner between the minimize and the X, there are 2 little boxes. If you hover over it with your mouse pointer, it will say restore down. You want to click on that, make your browser screen about half the size of your computer screen, and make my Zoom screen about half the size. Now you can code and watch me at the same time. Okay, for those of you that are privileged enough to have 2 devices, you can log into this by this link on the PC and watch me on a tablet. Okay, but that isn't necessary. It is just a bit tricky if you are using only something as small as a cell phone. To try and watch me and code on the cell phone, that might not work. So my advice there would be watch us, engage with us in the chat box, and then later on you take that link to a desktop computer or a laptop, and then you go and code on your own time. So if we are done here, you keep your browser tab open and the Zoom meeting is closed, you can carry on. You can keep coding here. You don't need to be on the Zoom call with me to do these things, right? What you can also do is hover in here in the address bar, copy that link, paste it on a text document, a Word document, or on Google Documents, or wherever you do your text editing. Save it, and then you can come back to this over the weekend. If you feel like it, you can come and code. You don't need to be with me, right? So once you're here, if you click on this, Lesson 3, Debugging with Scrat, it'll take you back to that first screen Where you will have access to this entire section here is what I've created for the grade 9s. So you can come here, you can come and code. It'll actually track your progress, all of that stuff, right? There are lesson extras that I have also added on for you. Okay, if you really want to, you can go and create an account with code.org. It is absolutely free. And then you have access to everything that they offer, right? So because many of you are new, I just have to talk through the platform quickly, and I'll do it as quickly as I can. But before I do, just type a yes, excuse me, in the chat box. If you are all on the screen now and you are ready, I can proceed. So just type yes if you could open the link. You could get it open. While you do that, I'm just taking a sip of water because I'm talking a lot. Okay. So I've got one yes there. Anyone else? Have you got this link open? Just in case somebody might have joined after I shared the link, I'm going to share it again because you won't have access to the previous chats. I've got 2 yeses there. Let's make it a nice uneven 3 and then I'll carry on. Okay. Taking into account that these videos are uploaded to YouTube and we don't want to have viewers waiting for stuff that they can't see, I'm going to continue, right? So just stop me if you can't follow along. So what you see in front of you is the code.org screen, and this is where we will spend most of our time. So right at the top, as I said, this is the lesson that we're in. If you click on that, you can see when I hover there, my mouse pointer creates a little hand. That means it's clickable. You can click there, go back to that lesson screen, and you can go to any lesson that you'd like to practice on or try by yourself, right? You don't need to be here with me. One thing that I do have to tell you though, what code.org does well is it's going to give you problems and puzzles and it's going to tell you how to solve them. But it does not necessarily tell you why you are doing things in a certain way. That is my job. That is why I am here. I am here to explain to you, we are putting this one first and that one second, and this is what's happening and this is why we're doing it. My goal is that when you leave here and you one day decide that you want to pursue a career in coding, that you won't only be able to drag and drop blocks like we're doing here. I want you to have the ability to have a foundation so that you can go and learn any coding language after this, okay? So this is based on JavaScript. Remember I said that earlier, and this is not actually what JavaScript looks like. This is block coding for us to learn from. I wasn't fortunate enough. These things weren't around when I started learning to code. I had to learn in this way. These words, this is called line and text-based coding. And this is what JavaScript looks like to a computer, okay, and to coders. So this is how I had to learn coding. I didn't have these nice block systems that they have now. So again, I'm teaching you this so that you can, yes, we're debugging puzzle 7. I'm teaching this so that you can learn other coding languages as well. Right, back to the platform. This is the puzzles that we're on. The green ones we've done, the white ones we're still going to do. These little flags are lesson extras. They're fun to play on and they're good to do. We don't always do them in class due to time restrictions. Sometimes I give them as homework and then you can go and do them on your own time, right? Up here we have the instructions, and remember where I said we need to identify the problem. This is telling us what the problem is, okay? This is our play area on the left-hand side. If you click there on these 3 buttons, you can make it bigger or smaller. I like it a bit larger when I'm teaching. Here we have our toolbox. These are all the blocks that we can use to create code with. This is our workspace. So this is where we actually code. We drop these code blocks in here. You can drag and drop it, and you can drag it back to remove it. After we've done this, we go to this button here. You'll see it says run with a little play symbol on there. And there's this orange when run button. So this block is always on your workspace. We need this to activate this code. Without this, this button won't work. Okay. The next one is the step button. And this just runs one block of code at a time. I very rarely use this because I think that we are smart enough to work without it. But for the younger ones, we teach this method. Okay. One thing you need to notice is when I'm not touching this here, it's grayed out. That means that code won't run. So if I click run, it's going to tell me there's unused code there. So there's nothing for it to run. It has to actually touch. Right, now we can start debugging. So we take a look at Scrat. We see he's facing towards the acorn. but he can't cross here because there's water. So he has to obviously move to get there. So what we see first is there's a move forward block there, and that's right, he has to move forward. Then there's a block to say turn right. Now, if he's facing towards the acorn and he turns right, is he going to turn up or turn down? Write it in the chat box for me, up or down. If this is turn right, he's facing towards the acorn, will he turn up or down? He's going to turn down. We don't want him to turn down because there's no way for him to cross here. So what we can do is click on this and change this. This is a toggle block, so you can change the settings in the block. Yes, he'll turn down. So we want to change it so he's turning left. Now, what you have to remember, if you haven't seen this before, I'm going to run the code so that you can see. When a character turns, he doesn't also move a block. He just turns in space, in the same spot that he's at, right? He doesn't move. So for him to go up there, we need to add another move forward block in here. Now they had that move forward block there, so that's fine. But what they do have is 2 move forward blocks. So if we just go up to this section here, this segment, and please note that you can separate the sequence as much as you want to, right? Each of these blocks you can put on its own. Just make sure when you put them back that they are connected. You'll see that small yellow line being created. They have to connect. If we run this code, we're going to see something, and if your sound is on, you'll hear Scrat shouting as he falls into the water, right? My sound is switched off, but yours is maybe on. So all we need to do is this extra move forward, we're going to remove. Gone. We don't need that anymore. Now we see he's going to end here. He has to turn towards the acorn. He's facing up, so he needs to turn right. His orientation will be the same as ours is, so right and left is the same. After he's turned right, he has to move 1, 2 times. There we have that. Move forward 1, 2. And then we have a turn right there to make him face the acorn, and one last move forward to get him to the acorn. Right. So now we can see we have successfully debugged this code. There were mistakes. We fixed the mistakes. We're testing it. So now we're there. And already I see your brains working, and I love it. Okay. If you hear funny sounds, that's me drinking water, so don't stress. Okay. I want to draw your attention to this here. This is the workspace restrictions that we are faced with. Oh, it doesn't highlight anymore. Here we can see that we are only allowed to use 9 blocks, so we can't use more than 9 blocks. So when we started this, there were 10 blocks in the workspace, but I'm telling you, there's a way to make this shorter. And this is what we're going to try and do now by using this block here. This is called a repeat block. And what it does is whenever you put code inside a repeat block, it will repeat that sequence of code this many times, whatever number you set it to. That's also a toggle. So some of them have a toggle where you can set the number like this. Others, they just have question marks in there. Then you click on it and you write the number, the amount of times you want it to repeat. So this is saying repeat twice, move forward. So it'll do the move forward action 2 times. Okay. So that's a repeat block. Now what we can do is we can look for patterns within this sequence and see if there is something that we can repeat. Something that I just want to draw your attention to. If you are going to repeat a single action twice, you are using 2 blocks. If you put that into a repeat, so we want this in here, this is going to do the same as that, but we are still using 2 blocks. So it's not advisable, or it doesn't make a difference whether you're using a repeat now or not. When it becomes important to use repeats is if you're doing something, the same action 3 times, or if you are going to do 2 different actions and you want to repeat that. This is obviously 4 blocks. Remember, the one is that. Now, if we're going to put this into a repeat block, it's going to look like this. And now we're only using 3 blocks. We're not using 4 blocks. Okay. So that is basically what a repeat block is. Now we want to go back to this sequence and we want to see if we can repeat something to make this shorter. Let's see if we can. Right, so move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right, move forward, turn right, move forward. Do you think we can break this sequence and put anything into a repeat to make it shorter? If you say yes, I'm going to ask you to explain to me where and how. So be sure about your answer before you just drop it into that. Okay, So Kweze says yes. How? Where can we insert a repeat block to make this shorter? Are we going to put it before this move forward or after the turn right? Where do we put this in? All right, so you have to tell me where and how, if you think we can do this. Me, I'm not so sure. I'm doubting myself. Luckily, I have a classroom full of students that are willing to help me. Okay. So someone there said, before move forward, right? Let's quickly see. Put this in. Now, there are many move forward, so we don't know which one exactly you are referring to. Okay. So the first thing I see is this move forward is happening twice. Now, to repeat that isn't going to really help us, okay? Because you're still going to be using 2 blocks. The 2 move forward, right? So we put this in here. Now we have to do something in there. Well, we can't really repeat this because it's a turn left and then a turn right. So let's break this down. Okay. So our first sequence is a move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right. Okay, so now we're standing here. Now we cannot really repeat this sequence. Okay, but what I do see is if we take this in here, I'll put this there. Now we are here. Now we have a move forward and a turn right, and then a move forward again. So perhaps this is not going to work though. It's going to make him walk into between turn right and turn right. Okay. Okay, so you guys are saying this, right? If I understand what the messages are saying. The thing with this is though, oh, one needs to come out. We're still using 9 blocks. Remember, we're trying to make this shorter. It doesn't help us using repeats and we're not actually making it any shorter. Okay. So I cannot see any space or place where we can put a repeat to make this code shorter, right? Because we don't have the same thing repeating twice. So here we have a move forward, turn right, and a move forward. There we have a move forward, turn right, but there has to be one move forward happening in between those two. So we need a way to fix that, right? So in my opinion, without getting too complicated, because I guess there is a way using 2 of these ones inside of each other, but we're not there yet. So I don't want to go messing with things crazy, right? Let me just do something here quickly. I usually don't do this, but I'm coming back here. Kwezi, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Yeah, I can see a space between the 2 move forwards.
Yes.
Yeah, there. You
Yes.
see the second move forward.
Yeah.
You can separate the code from there.
Okay.
No,
Then
from the second move forward.
under that one there, or before.
No, look like it's the first, second. No, from the start of the code.
Okay. So the
Then
second move
from
forward
the
in the
second,
sequence.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then we can put our repeats
Yes.
block there. Then from the 2 move forward, we can separate
Like that.
the, yeah,
Okay.
but we'll have to say move forward turn right, then move forward, then we can put it in the repeat.
Okay, so what do you want in the repeat block? A move forward?
Move forward, turn right, and move forward again.
Okay. Like that.
Yes, it's complete.
So we can test this.
Yes.
And there we go. Great. Good job. Thank you so much. Well spotted. Okay. So let's have a look at this code and see. Now, this is the thing, right? We all view things in life differently. So it applies to code as well, right? There we have Quasar saw a pattern that I couldn't see. That doesn't make me wrong and him right. It doesn't make any difference. It just shows you that we can all learn from one another. Okay, and that's why I love teaching the older grades and why I took the senior phase, because more often than not, you guys are teaching me. So let's just dissect the codes before we move on. So we did solve our problem. We debugged the code. We had 9 blocks out of the 9 blocks used. Okay, now what we've done is we've gone one step further and we've created a shorter sequence of code. Okay, now the shorter we can keep sequences that will still reach the same goal, the better, because the more code there is that the computer or the cell phone or whatever device the code is running on has to read through, the slower your processes become, because they have to work harder, right? So the less code we have, the better. If you have the ability to shorten your code and still reach your goal, then it is perfect, right? That's very, very great. So let's quickly chat on this. We have a move forward and turn left, which is easy to understand. Now we have this in a repeat. So what this is saying is repeat, move forward, turn right, and move forward 2 times. So we're going to move forward, turn right, move forward again, right? Now it's going to repeat back into the loop. So there's our second move forward to move from this block to this block, and the turn right, and then the last move forward. So great job. That was awesome. I think we can now move on. Are you all happy with that? Type a yes in the chat box if we can move forward. Excuse me, or move on. Okay, cool. So I assume everyone's sort of okay. I'm just going to share the link to the new puzzle just in case somebody came in. Also, for me to try and understand what you guys are typing becomes very difficult. It's a lot easier if we can actually talk to one another like we just did. Okay, so the challenge is debug this level by rearranging, adding, and deleting blocks. So I think this one should be straightforward enough. We don't have any repeat blocks here, so there aren't many changes we can make. What we can do is we look at our play area. We see Scrat's over there, the acorns over there. There's a certain path that he has to follow. So there are restrictions. We cannot move across the water. The other restriction, we only allowed 9 blocks. So start by telling me what I should do here. I'm going to remove this code completely. Just build the code from the start. So tell me, what is the first block that I need to put under the when run block? That's going to make it easier. Any ideas in the chat box from anyone? I know what's happening now. You guys are first playing on your screens to try and figure it out before you tell me in the chat box what to do. So I'm assuming everyone has access to a device that they can code on, right? So while you guys are doing that, I'm just going to talk through this so you can't hang around for too long. So the first thing I see is there are 2 move forwards here, but we have to move forward only once. If we're going to move forward twice, we're going to end up in the water. So what we'll do is we will remove the 1 move forward block. Then we have a turn right, but we're facing this way. So if we turn right, that's going to cause us to go upwards. We don't want to do that. We want to turn left so that we can come down. Okay. Now we're here, we're facing towards the acorn. So we need to obviously move towards the acorn. That's going to be 1, 2, move forwards, and there we can see we have 1, 2, move forwards in our workspace. When we are here, we need to turn towards the acorn, which is on this side. We're facing down, so that needs to be a left turn, and there we have a turn left. Now the code gives us an immediate turn left and then turn right again. So what that'll do, let's run the code and see. It's going to make us end up exactly facing the same way that we were before we turned. Right, look at that. So that doesn't help us at all. So that second turn there, it's almost never needed to have 2 turns right after each other. So this turn right, I'm not going to delete it because I can see we're going to get one, need one again. So now we're here, we're facing towards this way. We want Scrat on there, so we're going to add one more move forward block. And now we want to turn right after we've moved towards the acorn. And then we add in one more move forward. Great. So we read the code. We see I'm going to follow the code with my mouse pointer. We move forward, turn left, move forward, turn left, move forward, turn right, move forward. So let's run and test our code to see if we've made it. Okay, good. So we've made it. Are you all happy with it? Type a yes in the chat box. If you're happy, then I will move us on to the next puzzle. I think we can easily finish this and get into lesson number 4. Okay, there's a yes from Kwezi. Anyone else? If you do not want me to move on, if you want me to review something, please type a no. If one person says no, then we do the puzzle again. It's good practice for all of us. Okay, I've got 2 yeses so far, 3 yeses, right. I'm going to move on. Good. Here's the link to this one. Okay, this is another version of the same idea. So what this one does is it asks us a question to read this, and then we need to determine what this code will do. So I'm going to read it with you, walk through the code, but you will answer me. Okay, look closely at the code below. What is the first bug that will make this program fail? Okay, so remember now, pay attention to that. The first bug. So there might be even more bugs or mistakes in this code, but we are looking for what the first bug is that's going to make this code fail, right? So A says the program won't fail. Scrat will get to the acorn. We don't know yet because we haven't looked at the code. B, Scrat will go the wrong way after his final turn, okay? Again, we don't know because we haven't looked at the code yet. Scratch takes 1 too few steps and ends up short of the acorn. We don't know yet. This one, I don't know, is not an option for us to choose ever. What we don't know, we find out, okay? And if I don't know, I ask you, and if you don't know, you ask me, and in that way, we learn and grow together. So let's look at Scrat and look at the code. When run, so after this is pressed, the code will obviously activate. Now pay attention to this. They've tricked many people like this before, where they don't touch this block to that block, and then the code is right, but it's not connected. So it doesn't work, okay? But we can see in this scenario, it is connected. So we have 1, 2 blocks here that says move forward, move forward. So we watch Scrat. We'll take our mouse pointer to act out what he will do. So there's the first move forward. There's the second move forward. Then there's a turn right. Now Scrat is facing downwards. He needs to turn this way. So turn right is fine. That's good. We are good to go. Then there are 2 more move forward. So we're turned right. We're facing this way. We are aligned with the path. So we move forward once to there and a second time to there. Now there's a turn left. So this is the first bug right here. Turn left. Because from this position, we will have to turn right to reach the acorn and not turn left. So now let's see. This is our bug. So let's go and have a look. The program won't fail. So obviously that one is not an option. D is not an option. So we need to make a decision between B and C. Scrat will go the wrong way after his final turn. Scrat takes 1 too few steps and ends up short of the acorn. So in your opinion, which one is the correct answer here? B or C? Okay, so JJ says Scrat is going to take 1 too few steps and end up short of the acorn. So what that statement says is that Scrat will finish here, where my mouse pointer is at now. Does anybody agree with that? Okay, so I don't see, there we go. Quiz is saying it's B, right? Okay, let's chat on this quickly so that we can move on. C says he's going to end short. B says he's going to go the wrong way after his final turn. So there's his final turn. And we have now said that after his final turn, he's going to come down, but he has to go up. So the answer has to be B. Right, let's test it and see. Okay. So there we go. He ends up in the water. Right. I really, really, really want to finish this lesson. So let's see. Puzzle 10. Are you all good to go? Say yes if we can continue to do puzzle 10. Okay. What blocks should I put here? Tell me in the chat box. So if you want me to put one block a few times, then you just type the block name X and a number. Then I'll know how many times to put that in there. Okay, times 3 move forward. So then we've got 1, 2, 3 move forwards. What comes after that, JJ? A turn right, okay? Anyone else can chime in. And then how do we finish this code off? With the move forward, okay. So if we are ready, type the word run in the chat box and then I will run the code. But then it's your fault if it doesn't work. Okay, you're taking responsibility. Good. Perfect. Yes. Okay, I'm going to continue. I want to start with that new lesson. Really want to start with that new lesson. Go to lesson 4. Okay, again, oops, just continue. If you want to watch the videos, you're welcome to do that. We don't play them in the lessons because it gives us copyright issues when we upload to YouTube. Right, so free play. This is Laurel, the adventurer. Move her around and get as much treasure as you can. Use the collect block to pick up treasure. Drag blocks into the workspace and try to figure out how to get treasure. Get at least one item to pass this level. Okay, so we have to get at least one item. So now we are identifying the goal, right? Or the problem, identifying whatever you want to call it, but we are identifying. So there's a link if you are lost. So what it says is drag blocks to try and figure out how to get treasure. Get at least one item. So our goal is we need only one. I'm telling you, and you can see that there, we can get all of them. I don't want to only get one. We don't have any restrictions, right? There are no restrictions on where she can move except for these 4 walls, obviously, but in the area where the gems are, she can move however she wants to. We are also not limited on block space here. Before we just start writing code, I want to show you this block is a new one, and this is a function block that's going to tell her to do something when she is at a certain place on this map, right? So the first problem we need to solve has already been solved by JJ. How do we get Laurel from there to there? And we do that by using a move forward, right? Now that she is here, we want her to do something. We want her to collect that gem, okay? And in all fairness, if we run the code now, we would have done and we would have reached our goal because it says we only need to collect one. But we don't want to collect one only. We want to collect all of them. So after we're here, we have to do something. In my opinion, I would say we need to turn left, right? Move forward, turn right. Now let's see what this does. So there we've collected one and we are there. Now, what I see is, remember now, she started here. After this sequence, she was over there, right? And what I can see then is that what she did over here and what she has to do over there is exactly the same. Then it stands to reason that these ones will also be exactly the same. So we can take this entire sequence of code, drop it into a repeat block, and count how many gems there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Set this to 4, run it, and there we go. We have completed that. Okay. And to show you, no, don't go there. This is what it looks like if there are repeats happening. It's a variable count and it's set to 4 there, right? But it has some other restrictions in there that which we'll get to. Okay, but that's what this code in JavaScript looks like. What's more important than what the actual words are saying is for you to take notice of these semicolons, the brackets, and that type of thing, because that's the stuff that mixes people up a lot. Okay, so we've gotten to this puzzle. I have a homework assignment for you. So before I can go back to my slide, I just need to copy a link very quickly. It was in this debugging with Scrat, the bonus level. This one. So the homework assignment is this. Finish this level in the fewest amount of blocks that you can use, right? There are 15 blocks here. I'm trying to think now. I did this yesterday. I think I used less than 10 blocks, but I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to you. So that is your challenge. Take that link, open it up in your browser now. Whoops, sharing the wrong screen, sorry. Oh, I am sharing the right one. This one. Okay. Take that link, open it up. So here we go. The homework is lesson 3, debugging with Scrat, bonus level number 1, right? So take that link, open it up in your browser. When we finish here, stay in that browser or at least copy that link somewhere and paste it so that you can access it again. And try to solve this puzzle in as few blocks as possible. There are 15. See if you can do it in less. Okay. Then I want to invite you back to tomorrow's lesson. This is going to be collecting treasure with Laurel, puzzle 4 to 11. Obviously, we'll start with puzzle 3 because we haven't done that today. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Invite your friends to come and join us tomorrow and send the screenshot of when you finish this homework. Oops, this one, right? Send me a screenshot of your code to this or the link to what you've already done. Okay. share that to my email address. There it is, poll@africateengeeks.co.za. You can find us on these social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just type in Africa Teen Geeks and you'll find us there. And please invite your friends to come and join us. Okay. We have videos uploaded to YouTube, and all our new videos now have links going directly to our registration page. You as a student, if you have access to email, you can register yourself. If you do not have access to an email, just get a parent to help you. Right. So I just want to check in the chat. Okay. For those that are going back to school, good luck or enjoy. I'm not sure which one is more applicable, but stay safe. That one is important. Please, please, please stay safe, right? This virus is not something to play with. And then this is a grade 9 lesson, yes, but we have coding lessons from grade 1 to grade 9. Just register on the link to get that the details of when the lessons will be. Right. I'm already out of time, so thank you so much for being here. Invite your friends, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.